Okay, I think we're live everywhere. Alright, live on YouTube. Pause this and pause that. Alright, everyone, this is Geo Will from Productions², and we are back to do a little bit of, whoa, not what I wanted that to do. Game develop, a little bit more development streaming for Odyssian Void. So we're just going to kind of pick up where we left off last week, last weekend, and if you watched the stream last night, I believe, you'll know that I do have like a plan, if you will, for where we're going to go next, and this is it. So let's go ahead and just kind of let's take this. This is kind of like a high-level overview or high-level kind of description of what we want to do. Let's go ahead and make this more detailed and create some sort of like the design document, or at least some sort of design goals that we want to reach. So the first thing on this list is an inventory window. So, well, first let's preface this by saying we need to have some sort of UI system that we can use to create a window, display some stuff in it if we so choose to, and then also have a section in that window to store I guess icons and text and things. So it's going to be kind of dynamic. What I want to do is I want to make something that will work for both and that we can just modify as we need to. Eventually. What we're going to do right now, though, is... Why is this red? Why are you red? YouTube, why are you saying it's red? Just says not maintained smooth. Don't really understand how. Well, maybe it's because the rates. I don't know. Like I said, this whole thing with YouTube and Twitch not allowing the same level of streaming without crapping out. If you go too high with your bandwidth or bits per second, Twitch essentially craps out. I don't understand that at all. Anyway, so what we're going to do for the tech demo is it's going to be two separate windows because that'll be so much easier. So we're going to do an inventory window, or we'll call it an inventory system. Inventory system, because it's going to have multiple parts to it, not just the window type system. So components. Components are going to be the inventory window, the ship cargo, which will tie into this. So we'll say cargo, item-based cargo. Instead of just, saying a random thing, we're going to have actual items that will be in the cargo taking up space and such and so forth. What else do we need? I think that's pretty much the only components for the inventory system. So let's talk about the inventory window. What we want to have item description. Probably in the top of the window. Top of the window. We want to have then the item list, or whatever you want to call it. So it's going to be a self-contained kind of panel. So content panel, I guess, with scrolling. Add items to it dynamically. Items should have a medium-sized thumbnail and text with item name and number of items. When clicked on, display item information within the item description section. So that's basically what that's going to be. Item-based cargo is basically just going to be what I said. Cargo will now be an array of custom class items. And that's really all we need. And will be limited based space space will be calculated based on number items and their associated space usage, I guess. So there's the inventory system. So next we have the shop system. So similarly, let's put it on a new page. Similarly, we're going to need kind of the same kind of stuff. Components, which is why I want to combine these two systems a little bit as far as the window goes. Because it'll be a lot of it will be the same. There'll be some differences in terms of like different tabs and things like that, but overall it'll be pretty similar. So components, shop window, ship window. Well, it's better than the other SHI word, window. Window. So, should display. Okay, so several tabs along top. So I guess it'd be buy, sell, and maybe buy back or something. For now, we're just going to say buy and sell. Let's go ahead and actually fill out this a little bit more. Should contain item name, description, value. So individual and stack total in parentheses. So, i.e. 100, 400. And what else? Item type and other such information. So I'm just going to do is I'm just going to copy this, and instead it's going to be cost. Individual, and instead of stack total, it's going to be individual and I guess selected total. Oh, I actually have the cost right there. It should be item value on the second one. Obviously, there would be like it'd be reduced for the sell value. We'll probably make it based. That's gonna be an interesting thing. I'll probably have to make it based on the current system you're in. So, in the full game. So, like if you're in a system where it's more valuable, or maybe there'll be some sort of way that you can switch what the system that you're looking at in terms of the value of the items. I don't know. Well, I'll have to see how that will work together. But it would be interesting to have that kind of a system so you can kind of easily tell instead of having to go to the place like, say, on EVE Online. Well, on EVE Online, it's kind of, well, I haven't played it in a while, but last time I played it, what I remember is that it showed you, like, the regional value and the system value. It didn't let you actually pick a specific system to check the value at it. You had to go to that system or that region and to see it. So maybe they've updated that since then. That was, like, I don't know, early 2012 or something that I last played EVE Online. They had like this free weekend or something, or free reactivation for like 10 or 12 days or something, and I did that. It's really lowercase. And then we need to have So the item item list, I guess. So we're going to say buy for the buy tab. Item list should show items in vertical list with buttons that stretch across the panel. Have a smaller thumbnail of the item name, and the item cost, possibly also a deal to show not for this version of what we're doing now, but eventually to show if cost is above or below X average, where X is a system, a trade, region, or whatever. For the sell tab, the item list should be more like the inventory item list, except that should allow you to select any number of items from a stack to sell. The total money from all marked for sell items should be displayed somewhere, probably in a bottom section. Oh, and that's what else we need to do here. Should be able to buy multiple items at once. Show total cost of items in a bottom section where there will be a buy button as well with the sell button. Alright, so that's those two systems. Fitting. This is just, we just want to make I want to make this really simple. This because the full version is going to be kind of more like EVE Online, but ship fitting system. This window should be fairly basic for now. Just display a list of equipable ports on the ship, and let's see now, in a vertical list that indicates the level of the port. So that would be low, medium, and high. When clicked on, should open up an inventory styled window with only parts that can be fitted to that port type. Displayed. So as part of this though, ship ports. Add a vector of custom class to be created. Store port information. And in relation to that, add a new custom class to be created, which will store. Well, yeah, for this we're gonna have to, because I'm not gonna have database integration in this. Though I could, I suppose. Maybe we can. Let's do that. Let's think about database integration. Let me add that into this top list. SQLite 3 integration. Integration. Not integration, whatever the hell that is. I guess that's the oh my god version of interrogation is integration or whatever the hell I spelled. Anyway, so okay, what else would we need for that? I'm not going to worry about all the other stuff like the power and things like that. Equipable, I guess we just need that. Still going to say it's not a word, but I don't think I can add. I guess I can add it. Okay, doesn't look and high. All right, so we got these two main, three systems actually. Now, next we're going to need to do. So, targeting system. Actually, let's do a new page again. So what do we need? So we need target windows. Target windows, not target windows. Or it should be underneath components, right? Whoops. Try and keep things a little bit similar. So we need target windows. We need right-click targeting, which brings us to another system we're going to need to create. So right-click targeting for individual weapons. What else do we need? I think that's it for now. So, okay, now actually we want to do, again, to keep things consistent. So, after targeting a targetable object, probably we'll need some kind of class or enum list to define what is a targetable object. Display the target in a small window. Camera should be created on the target and follow it around. Simple information such as a set of health int bars and distance should be displayed. Allow for targeting. I just want to say targeting or whatever. Targeting. The S wants to get in there no matter what. Oh, the stream's back to being good. Weird. YouTube, you need to like stop drinking or something. You're crazy. So allow for targeting using a right-click context menu when clicking on a targetable object. So that's another system. Let's call it context menus. So components, menu. When right clicking on see, navigation options, communication options, as well as targeting options, while a planet would not have the target, well, may not have the targeting option. Okay, so there's that. What else do we need to do? So, allow 3 minutes ship. Well, that, some of this falls back into all those other sections. One thing we do need to add is going to be, well, ore types will fall into this too, but the SQLite 3 integration. And custom class to be created to handle communication with database. Database data. So components will be ores and mining lasers. For now. So I think this pretty much covers it. Covers all the different things we'll need to actually create based on this list up here. Actually, we can bring this up now, since we're not taking up since that got pushed down a bit. So some of this stuff, like all this, we can get rid of. Mining lasers, different configurations, get rid of that. Get rid of this, get rid of that. That stays, this stays, that can go, this stays, and this stays, and this can go. So everything that's still left is actually some sort of bug that we need to try and fix, while everything else is a new kind of system we want to create. So this is kind of going to be like the design document for the final version of the mining tech demo, which is just going to show kind of what mining would be like in Odyssian Void. So, now the question is where to go from here. I think the best place to start is going to be database, because that's going to be kind of critical for the rest of most of the rest of the stuff. Because really all the rest of it, I think, because all depends on either ore or mining lasers. Because the ore is going to be in the cargo hold / inventory stuff, and buying, which are going to be selling for Zarn, and the mining lasers are going to be the things you're going to be able to buy with the Zarn and be able to mine the ore with. So it all fits together that way. So it all crashes together with the database. So we're going to figure that out first. In order to do that, though, it's going to be a little interesting. The last time I looked this up, there was actually a bug with, or not a bug, but it was unacceptably hard to implement. Close all this stuff for now. To implement it for some reason. Let's go ahead and do some searching here. UE4, SQLite 3. I wouldn't suggest doing this database plugin. It helps you in terms of getting integrated, but they charge you like a crap ton of money for it when you can just kind of do it easier yourself. All right, so first download the SQLite files. So, Mega, huh? Alright, well, we'll go do that first. Download that. Well, that's going on. Okay, well, that's done. While this is done, we'll look up what we need to do next. So next we have to go to the paste bin. Okay. Begin build database databale. Yeah, we're building Christian databale strings. So we'll need to kind of modify that for what we need. Okay, so we got the files. Actually, we'll need to close the UE stuff up, and we'll need to. Well, actually, no, I haven't opened the projects yet. I did good that time. I was too busy writing up that stuff, and then I figured, hey, Well, I was gonna start doing that, and then I realized, hey, I should probably stream this. So between that and the streaming, I forgot to actually open up the projects. Good thing. Bob Ross lives. So next, extract the classes and RPG database H and CPP folder into your project source folder. So we actually have a project folder open here. We're actually going to do this right into the tech demo. So, oops. So source, mining tech demo, and we have our files here. So we need to go to this and open this up. So third party SQLite 3, okay. So we'll bring those over. I may stream KSP after this, by the way. Depends on what time it is. Alright, so we got our stuff in there now. Include the class folder directory in your C++ project. Include the database files into the main code. So I'm going to need to go, or whether we can do it from that folder, can't we? Yes, we can. Maybe. Yes, we can. So we need to add these folders to our includes, I believe they said. And we need to add the files in as well. So, add existing item, and I'm going to go to our source, and I'm going to go to there, and we want to include these, add. Next, we want to, actually first let's take these out. Yes. I want to rename these first. So rename to database handler. Now we can add them. Interesting. I wonder if... Because we also have the mining tech demo 2. I'm trying to remember if this one, oops, is the one that has the version that is the version that this stuff was actually working in. So I remember that we had some problems getting the code to work. Yep, I believe so. Yeah, okay, it was in here. Let's go ahead and close the other one. I want to make sure we're using the right one here. Come on, Visual Studio, don't be a moron. Don't be a moron. But I want to be a moron. Can I close this? No, don't save. Okay, so now we're going to add... Well... So what had to happen was I actually had to add them from inside of the thing before they would properly work. So let's go ahead and close this too. And we need to create these from within the editor so that they don't get screwed over. It has to do with how the... So you make them in the editor, and the editor builds the things it needs for these to work. And if you try to do them manually... As far as I can tell so far, I haven't been able to actually get them to create manually properly. Oh my god. Visual Studio wants to be slow tonight. Which is actually kind of interesting. I haven't seen it do this before. I think it's because of all the... and Unreal takes a while to create this stuff too, so I think there's some weird performance thing going on with how they integrated it into Unreal or something. I don't know. It shouldn't affect this though. We're just trying to close down the IDE. It shouldn't get stuck like this. There we go. Finally, God. Okay, so we need to open up Mining Tech Demo 2. And we'll need to create some new classes. We'll need, obviously, Database Handler. So we'll need item, if we don't already have it, which I think we do. We have inventory already, which will help. So let me go to content. That's right, it doesn't actually show here, all classes. So we've got an asteroid already. Well, it's a blueprint. So we're going to need that item. What other classes do we say are probably going to be needed to be created? Custom class screen database, we got that. Database handler. Right, an enum list. And actually, this will probably actually have to be a class for, and instead of just being for that, it'll be for the context menu items. So we'll be able to dynamically set up some of the stuff depending on what's being targeted. Vector of a custom class, so weapons we'll need, and ports. So weapons. So we'll make weapons a super class. And then the individual subclasses as well. And then we'll need the ports class, which will use the weapons class. Well, it's actually going to be cargo will be inventory, which will contain the vector of items. We'll also have to have in the we'll see how that works out. We may or may not need to also have a variable in the blueprint to store that, but we shouldn't need to. If we make it visible to the blueprint, we should be able to pull it out through a function in the inventory class, which I think already exists. Inventory window. So I guess that's all the classes we need. So database handler, we already have items, so let's mark that as checked off. Item/inventory. We'll need a class for the context menu items of a right-click menu, the weapons, superclass, and then some subclasses for the different types, and then the ports for the ship. And then the ship will have actually, they're called hardpoints. A hardpoints vector or something on it. So, yeah, we don't need to have. Well, maybe we may need to create a custom class for ships too, but that's getting a little too deep into the stuff. So we'll start with that. Need to click on new C++ class. Needs to be of type object. The object needs to be. We'll start with the database handler since that's where we're going. Make sure we select public. And create class. That'll take a little bit of time and it'll hang for a little bit too. Once it reaches about 100%. I'd rather create all these now though, so that we have them made, don't have to do this over again. Or keep doing opening it up and closing it, opening it up and closing it. So we'll go and we'll create all the classes we have here now. So the weapon superclass. We'll just add some of the basic stuff like the item ID, so WID, weapon ID, weapon name, weapon description. Well, to be honest, I don't want to store that in memory, so I might just have it be a database call whenever we need to get that information. Now, there's an argument that that might be too resource intensive though too. Once you load it into memory, it's there and easy to access, but if you're going to be calling the database all the time for this stuff, it's going to get kind of heady really fast. And there's pros and cons to both sides of the argument. One side is that if you're going to be building a game that's designed for 64-bit systems only, while you still need to be memory conscious, you don't have to be a memory Nazi like you have to be if you're doing a 32-bit game, which only can assign maybe 2.5 gigabytes of memory before something crashes. So there's that. On the other hand, there's also the arguments or the knockdown of the other arguments saying that, well, you still don't want to have like memory leaks all over the place and stuff you don't need in memory, because then you're just going to be using up a lot of memory that's not really needed. And it'll make the game slower and potentially introduce bugs and other kinds of issues that will be hard to fix. So Database calls are pretty cheap overall. I mean, it does take a little bit of resources to do, but overall it's pretty cheap these days. Now, there's also a question of time, though. If you have a bunch of, let's say you have this shop window open there on the buy list. Let's say there's 1,000 items in the list. How long is that going to take to load? If you have to query all the data for everything, and then store it in a vector to be used later. Again, valid point. So we'll just have to figure out as we go what will work and what won't. And while this is compiling, I'm going to go grab my phone. So while I'm waiting, I can play Adventure Communist and other such games that I normally waste time with, because this is probably going to take a while. We got to do another okay, it's done, and it's going to load this up. We'll need to close this again. At least another 3 classes. Alright, so we got our class here. So every time we do this, we'll have to close this down because it will open every time. And again, well, that went faster that time, good. Oh, there is a thing. How do you get to it, though? So right here, what the hell? How do we get to the other version of the content browser? Okay, it's underneath a different section is why, and it doesn't show up automatically, or it doesn't show up in that one because it's not part of it. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. So these are all of our classes then. So I'm going to add a new one again. Show all classes based on object. This one's going to be... so we'll skip the context menu thing for now. We'll do that one later because I'll need to figure out exactly how that can be implemented. Let's call this weapon. Sure, you don't really need to do that, but I do just to make sure it's got it selected. So weapon. And then we'll do a subclass for mining lasers. We'll just do one for now because that's all we need. And then hard points, not ports. Jesus. Wow, that was fast. Holy crap. So I'm going to try and do 2 things at once here. Should be interesting. And then okay, not so fast this time. But not so slow either. Okay, then we need to do the hard points. So we're kind of bringing in a few of the classes that we had from the other versions of the text console, the command window text version of the game, and bringing them into here so that we can try and implement them. Okay, it seems like it's taking a bit of time until it isn't. Damn it. Second I pick up my phone, it goes. Alright, so we got that. This time we're going to leave it open for now. And I'm going to close this down. Okay, so I'm actually going to close Adventure Communist for now. Alright, so well, let's start with the database handler like we were going to. So we already have this here. What I want to do now is I want to open up the files that we had over here in probably TextPad. And then we'll open up the CPP file as well. Just so we can kind of look in here and see what we got. Oh wait, wrong ones. No, never mind. Those are the right ones. I think we're in the right folder. They might be in the other folder, the other project folder. Ah, there we go. Yes. Okay, open those up. So. RPG Engine Toolkit. So shows the function called you can use to start my system. Take forward need. When was this written? Holy crap. 2015. Okay, things have probably changed since then. Wow. So let's see if we can find something a little more recent. This one's also 15. Official integration that's included. Well, we'll probably need to use that. Let's also make sure we get like maybe the past year so we don't get like super old posts. What's that one? Scared of JavaScript. Something for me to dig into later, I think. So what is this? Huh, interesting. I didn't realize that hadn't been updated since 2016. So under let's click download. So it's actually an already built plugin. Interesting. Well, let's go check it out. Why reinvent the wheel? 3 years, well, still 3 years ago, but. Okay, no, it's been tested on 20. Okay, good. So it should be fairly up to date. Plugins on your projects and start the project. Should compile plugin automatically. Okay, so I want to download this. I'm not going to call it whatever CL, whatever you said it should be called. So we're going to throw it in here. This is source projects, Minetech demo. So let's go to plugins folder first of all. And then we'll just say UI SQL Lite 3. Ah, come on. Nope, stop doing that. Damn it. Alright, there we go. And just put this into it, I guess, right? Well, it said download a zip. I'm just going to stick it out here because I'm not sure if we need to make this a certain name or something, but we're going to rename it. I guess we got to restart. Can we go ahead and we don't need to save any of this. We haven't changed anything really. Let's close that and reopen the engine. Tech demo 2. So, plugins. Oh. Interesting. Oh yeah, CI. CI, that is it. Okay. That is it. Okay. That's why it was called CI SQ conflict whatever that other one was, then SQL3. Oh crap. No. I need to rename it. Okay, CI_SQLite. Or crap. Or actually, I probably didn't have to close it, did I? I just needed to open the project. Oh well. Okay, project requires you. Plugin cannot be found. Okay, UI SQLite. So what was the other one then? He was just asking me if I wanted to rebuild. Oh, that time I did close it. Okay. Attempt number 3. So, find my machine okay. So the generated file was did get created, so that's good. Seems like it might have been built. Okay, it's enabled, so I think it did get built. Okay, let's check the GitHub again. So, install engine plugin and engine plugins directory like Epic Games. So simple. So header U class, whatever. We call it SQLite database.h. And then you have a database name. You call to register the database. So I think registered is meaning if it exists or not. Yeah, here we go. There's a function. Or not a function, oh, okay, no. So we're registering the database. In other words, we're defining that it does exist. Probably loading it somehow. And then we are calling get data into object. Bool did populate. Turn did populate. So we have an actor. Actor name. Really, Bruce Willis. So name, age, gender, height, and populating it into the actor class. So this is obviously something that he wrote custom in that object. Takes in these parameters. Passes the this, which is my actor, and then sets up the values that way. I like to do it a slightly different way so we don't have to pass actual objects around. Objects take a lot more space than, say, a vector that has data in it. Well, a vector that has a struct in it, let's put it that way. Structs are much less heavy than objects are, classes are. Okay, so I should be able to just go to this. And open to edit it. And we should be able to see well, it might actually not be in here. Oh, plugins. I bet it's in here. Oh, no. Experimental Enterprise, 2D AI, tests. What would it be underneath? Third party, maybe? There's no third party thing in here. I guess we can look for it. So what was the function name? Or class name U SQLite database. Did not find it. Well, we had to add a specific file. Automatically, blah blah blah. Usage, more to come. So we should be able to just attach this in here, and then should be linked, I guess. That's all it says to do. So SQ. There's got to be more to it than that. Let's see. So copy this plugin into the plugins folder. Start the project, compile automatically. Maybe could not even. Is there any where's the issues section of this? Maybe I need to log in first. Or not. Damn. Maybe they don't have that enabled for this repo. Okay, so this is all they have on the thing. I mean, I'd assume we still have to link it in somehow. Okay, so there's that. I think we have to. I think we're probably gonna have to try and do an actual path to this, not just doing it directly, or better yet. Well, actually, that's right. They said it's not the exact same. Well, it's static libraries. Build the project. Da, 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 da. So this is probably what I'm talking about here. What we need to do. That's a good question. Are there any libs that we have to worry about? So probably the intermediate build. Well, these are gens. And no, yeah, there's a lib here. Library, and then the libraries themselves. So yeah, we have to do it this way. Okay, so we're actually going to create an extension class, a subclass, if you will, of module rules. Unless it already exists, which would be helpful. So, sourcey for magic. Yeah, no, it's not. It's a different folder. Okay. See now, there's a couple of path static methods. Libraries. Constructor. Alright, so let's kind of go back through this again from the beginning. So we've already built the libraries, if you will. Okay, so build your project in its location. Third party, Bob's Magic. So we have to create a... Okay, so in the project directory, we need to create a third party. And in that, we want our module files. Yeah, it kind of sounds like what was there before. Or what was on the other one. What was this written? That's 2018, so this should be relevant. So this is like after we built it, apparently. I don't know, we'll do this and see what happens. Anyway, so CI SQLite. 3. Okay. 2 new folders, libraries, and includes. Doesn't it be called that? I'd rather call it lib and inc. Okay. So now we want to copy our stuff to here. So plugin. So binaries. So I guess this is our DLL. And then we want the includes, which are the header files. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the name is. Okay, so now we need to just binding the library to the engine. Okay. So, yeah, I'm thinking this is something we have to create. So, inside of the source folder, we need to create a new folder. Add new folder. the hell? How do we add a new folder? Maybe we just need to put the folder in. So source, and then in here, new folder, call it, doesn't matter what it's called, so we're just going to say module integration. Integration. So I'm going to save this, close it, and reopen it. We'll see if it actually loads or if we need to do something else. Probably need to like add it or something. Or rebuild it or something. We'll see. Nope. Alright, let's try, let's see, add existing item. Yeah, I don't think it allows you to add a folder. So something I maybe knew how to do once and have forgotten or never have tried to do. Let's see, right click on the project or contained folder and choose add existing item. Oh, okay, yeah, that is the way you do it. It just doesn't work with mine because I have the one click thing on, so we just have to highlight it first. No, it didn't work. All files, click on the files or folders you want to add to the project and choose include. Well, mine says add, not include. Or we can drag and drop. Is this even the same friggin' thing? Well, that's project files. Oh, hell, there's a button. Or maybe not. Oh, there it is. It's in folder view. Cool. Alright, we got our thing there. Crap, get out of there. So I'm going to add a new file to this. Call it, I guess module integration. Where was that? Here. Nope, not that one. Okay, where the hell did that go? There we go. Yes, it's called the same thing, so we'll just call it, oh no, this is inside the build CSS. Crap. Derp, derp, derp. So this, inside of this. There we go. Okay. Helps to actually read what they actually say. So we got this path, third party path. So we need to add a new path. So public dependency module names. To convenience properties to ensure we always know where our module and third-party directories are. Well, this kind of looks not at all like. Okay, so that's the constructor. Okay, this is our constructor. Gotcha. So this stuff is going to go in above it. Okay, that makes a little more sense now. So private. I wonder if it should be F string. I don't know. So get. No, let that go way over there. That was weird. Return. Third-party path. And the spelled private wrong. So private string return. So it's going to be return or get rather. Get return path dot get full path dot path dot combine module path third party okay. Create a new method. Told to figure the build system to our libraries. So this should be after the constructor, okay. And this should be public. Oh, it doesn't have to have one of those in it. Okay, so it's a bool. Load, in this case we're going to say load CI SQLite 3 target info or target, I guess. So bool B is lib supported. Well, just 64. So it's gonna be 64-bit game. So we'll just do the one. Is there an else in this? Apparently not. So B is lib supported equals true. String platform. So Unreal. Oh, so we just say x64. Since we already know what it's going to be. String lib path libs path equals path.combine. Damn it, stop doing that. So third-party path. CI SQLite 3 and libs. Or I think it's just lib. And then test path. So test your path with using console system. So public additional libraries. So that's interesting question. Probably should do that actually. Just to define that it's 64-bit DLL. Hopefully I don't need to keep the file name the same. I don't think we do. So now we just need to... this one says .lib, interesting. Oh, okay. I copied the wrong file, so that's why. Well, no, that is... Oh, third party. This one. So that's the binaries, intermediate build. I'm going to put that in there too. Okay, so I think the DLL has to go in with the executable file for the game. For now, we'll start there though. So we got that. Then just need to do the path combine. No, we're below that. Path additional libraries.add, combine libraries path, lib path, and then Bob's Magic. Oh, okay, the actual file name now. This is the directory, then we're putting in the actual, we're completing the file path with the file Gotcha. So that was pull this down a bit. Not too far. Need to be able to see it so I can type it. I'm not a big fan of copying and pasting. If I can type it in, I will. So public additional libraries dot add path dot okay. So there's that. So now if library is supported, then we have to do the include path. So public include paths. So third party path, CI SQL like 3 Inc. And then it's put in a definition. Definitions.add Okay, so that's that. This is one true, okay. Now include okay. So include welcome to so I guess we need to do a build real quick. Well, it says no configurations. That's not good. Or actually, look at this. It says no errors now. That's interesting. Oh, never mind. There it is. It is there. I think if we just do... So, database handlers and that. I think you have to do another one of these. Okay, fine. So that way we can... So where's database handler.h real quick? So mining tech demo, source. Here, public. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go 3 out. So we can't use that. Okay, there we go. So this is the third party we want. Then CI escalate 3. Then include. Then... Aha, there we go. So, cannot open source file generated... Yeah, so there's like a lot of issues. I think you may need to regenerate the files. Yes, save it. Failed to generate. No. So what do we got? Modules definition is obsolete. The definitions property has been deprecated. Public definitions instead. Oh, the yeah. So like we have this here. So we just have to put in the name of it, I guess. Okay, let's try this again. And still got a friggin' error. Okay, what's now? String does not contain definition for get full path. No extension get full path. So this guide here is out of date then. So let's do a different UE4 linking libraries. Okay, this looks a bit better. When's the last? Okay, 20. Well, still 2018. Okay, so it's still about building the project, I think. Error complaining about hexadecimal value. Third-party directory. Project root directory. x64 release. Oh, from when we built them, which we had UE4 do so. So far it's about the same. Looks about the same. Get full path. Nope, this is out of date too. Damn it. Is it just too much to ask Epic to like update their goddamn documentation when they change something like the frickin' deprecate stuff that breaks older wikis? It's just like, damn. Tools anytime the past year. Did you add the lib to your additional dependencies? Combine module path, combine third-party, public additional libraries, add library name, include paths. Oh, well, that's interesting. Library name, library's path. Oh, he's got the wrong file name. Okay. So, at least that's a little bit more new. Still getting the so it's still having an issue in terms of actually opening the database. Well, not opening it, but linking the functions to the program from the library. When was that posted? Wow, that's probably not going to get... That's still from a year ago. But it's got the newer stuff in it, so that's good. Okay, let's see if... let's see if this works. Oh, that's right. We have to reopen it. What I don't like is that I've somehow... Oh, there it is. It's showing up now. The build configuration. So it says full path is not supported. Where am I calling that from? Full path. I know I typed it somewhere, but I can't remember where I typed it. Oh, this one. Module path, get full path. Third party path. So what did he do on his, though? Assuming it's a he. So third party path, return path, get full path. I think I went and typed in path, and it did the module path, and I didn't catch it. And actually, it should be 3, not 2. That's the other thing. Alright, let's pull this out. And go back to this. And... damn it. Path does not exist in current context. Oh, we need to use system IO. That's why. Derp. Knew I forgot something. I forgot to use the using statement. I think, is it using or include notes? Definitely using. Using system.io. Hopefully that is the reason why. Let's put it this way, if it still fails, then we'll know it's not from not having that included. Aha. Okay, let's go ahead and reopen this now. So, go back over to handler. Aha. And we don't have any errors now. I shouldn't. Actually, no, it's still scanning. I should wait. Oh, it's looking for a public engine source. Warning, modules must specify explicitly pre-compiler. So, I think we actually have one of those. I just didn't move it over. Well, let's see. What's it looking for again? Private. Yeah, SQLite 3. Private PCH.h. Yeah. Okay, so I think what we have to do is we have to just copy this over to our other folder. Whoops, and I'm going to combine those. Although it might be useful to combine both of these. So this is our, okay, so this is the third party one. Reference module, directory, engine source does not exist. Okay. So maybe we need to, instead of do this kind of path, we have to explicitly state where we want it. Let me go ahead and do what I did last time, which was to actually just kind of oh, it's not going to let me do it this time, is it? It's not going to show like the file path thing. Let's just do 2 this time. Maybe it just takes 2. Or rather, third-party path. Don't need the other bit in there. So third-party path, SQLite 3 lib, and platform string lib, and our include folder. Let me see if somebody's got something like this in. Crap. Wrong keys. Let's see. Got an off marketplace team. Oh, mail. That's an I, not an L. Looks like an L for some reason. Plugins being built against engine versions onward need to include files from their own plugin directory. Must add those include paths. So public include paths. Module directory. Module directory. My folder. Include. Public include paths add. Path can combine. Public. Module directory. Okay, under the current module they'd like to include. Fine, that makes sense, but how the hell does this know what module you're trying to include? So module path. Okay, module path is module directory. I see. So I guess that thing again. It's a convenience thing. Though I don't know. I guess it makes it shorter. I'd just say, I don't know, whatever. So that should be right. Well, no, see, module path, then public, it's supposed to be. According to this. So this one should be module path lib and this includes path should be third-party path just third-party path. So don't need to use a combine on that. Because we've already had the public up there. So we should have, yeah, so it looks like we're going to need to copy the so we won't need this. Okay, let's close that and then rebuild. Or regenerate, I guess. So that seems to have worked. So, where's our header at for this? And I need to open up one of the other ones we already did so I can remember how to do this properly. So item, let's pull it up. So we have, okay, public, then U item. We'll need to, well, this maybe not. Well, no, yeah. No, yeah. This is yeah, we have to be able to access in the blueprint, so. And then, right, it should have been U item. Oh, never mind, it did put the U in there. Good. Benefits of using it properly, the class creator. All right, so we got that. Let's pull this over so we can switch between them more easily. So we just need to do a constructor and a destructor, or a destroy function. So U database handler. Oh, that should be in public, right? All right, there's our constructor. Let's go ahead and put this over here. So now if we look at let me see, where was that? Here we go. So you need to do an f string with the database name. So f string is it all caps? It's not. Okay, f string db name equals test db. Then we need to call usqlite database. So if u, oh, it's there, nice, is database registered. DB name. Of course, we need to put in a then register database location. I would say it'd have to be the location from the exe. So .db, it should be .sql. SQLite, I think. True. Relative to game content directory. So in the content directory, then database. So now I need to open up SQLite expert. Now we need to create a new database real quick. So I'm just going to close all of them. And we're going to create a new one. So, let me go find one of our windows here real quick. Content, new folder, database. Cannot find. Why are you having problems finding the folder? Oh, what a difference a slash makes. Okay, so test DB. So yeah, it can be SQLite, DB, or DB3. Either way, it'll read it. So we're just going to stick with SQLite. Let's test DB SQLite. So now we want to add a new table. We're just going to call it something simple like test table or something. Columns, add one. Column name will be ID. And I think we can also set up as the primary key. If you also happen to use this version of this that much. Oh, here we go. Yeah. They changed it a lot from the previous version. So we want to add column name ID. Auto increment. On conflict abort. And then we'll add another row. Let's call it name varchar. Size 60. And then we'll do a description field. Size, we'll say 2500. Not null. And abort. Alright, so we got our fields here. Apply. Now let's go ahead and create some data for this. So test 1. Oh, crap. Could not get to the microphone fast enough to mute that. Let's see. Not test 2, or 1. This is not a test. Alright, so let's go ahead and enter that stuff in. Then Okay, so we got our data there. Okay, so we got our and we have our database defined. So this did populate. So this is interesting. Let me throw this in here, just how it is. And I just want to go kind of take a look at this thing. Go to definition. There we go. So let's see. Object to populate. If database registered database name invalid, can open results. Query success assigned to object properties. So what I'm guessing is that your object properties have to be the same as the table column names. So if we go back to our database handler real quick. So actor name, and then this. So this is the database const this handler. The last thing. Ah, crap! It went away, didn't it? Oh, here it is. The last one is a uObject. So, well, into object. Is there like an into struct? And object be p into struct. Let's look. There's not an into use struct. There's not also an into struct. So that could be interesting. Give me a moment and I'll be right back. Okay, so I was just kind of thinking through this. I guess we could do it this way. So the reason why I use structs for in my other one was, like I said, structs are less heavy than classes, and it's an easy way to like transport data from one place to another without having to pass through a class reference. But there isn't any insert into struct here, though maybe I could write one once I dig through the code and figure out a little bit more about it. Okay, so what we'll do, database handler, so uProperty, name, age, gender, height. And they're in that same order. Well, they're named the same, let's put it that way. So, Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that for this. So let's add u function. What did we use on our other ones? Because I want to kind of mirror the same function. Blueprint callable is all we used. Okay. So blueprint callable. And then we'll say get test data. Ah. Oh, it has to have a type. Bool. Yeah, it doesn't have an implementation, so that's fine. The new properties. Oh yeah, we can put it inside of a category. Or rather, a property. So blueprint read write. Category. And actually, we will do the first one too. Edit anywhere. And then this will be f-string name. I'll just copy this. F-string description. Now let's keep it desk. Same name as the database table. Okay, so we got these two. Back over here, we've got this. So we need to create a bool, I guess. Really, we should just return this. Or rather, not equals, duh. Okay, so that's why I did that. That's kind of annoying, but fine. B data queried. And then return B data queried. Oh, bloody hell. We're in the wrong one. We're in the constructor, that's why. Yeah, probably would have worked otherwise. So, u database handler. Yeah, that is perfectly fine. So, On this one, we're just going to say select name and description. From test table. For name, not like. So we just want to get our not. We don't want to get our not tests. We just want to get our tests. Okay. And then from the constructor, we'll call get test data. Okay, so that's all we should have to do. So now let's close this down. And let's go ahead and it's really nice to be able to see what actually we have here. Doesn't allow me to see the entire thing, which is really annoying. I think it has to be a development editor, which I think is what it was. So let's do a rebuild. So those are just warnings. So I don't think that should cause a fail, but we'll see. No, what do we got? Database handler H. Illegal qualified name and member declaration. Oh. Duh. I think it's all from that. No, what do we got? Cannot open SQL blueprint nodes generated. No such. Failed to produce item. Oh. So it does still. Oh no, it's the DLL for the. Yeah, okay. So this is the same issue. Well, similar issue. Generated destruct body program once. Program once. Blueprint nodes to generate H. So the last time this happened is because somehow the project didn't correctly. Well, these were added ourselves. We built the stuff. Well, it built in UE4, I guess, and we just carried them over. But still, is really annoying. So, third-party CISQlites. Wonder why it's all lowercase. Public blueprint nodes H. Public dependency module names that add range. That one said private. What's this one say? Public dependency module names. So delete .vs binaries, intermediate saved, and your game SLN files. Open the project once it finishes regenerating. Project name, intermediate build platform, Inc. Project name before any. It's good to go. Huh. Yeah, it's there. Let's open our copy full path. That should always be on the bottom. So, project name. Oh, that's interesting. That didn't quite work, did it? Syntax error. what's the first one? Uses undefined struct. CIS SQLite 3 API. So let's see. UP4 uses undefined struct. Undefined class, browser API. Let's try okay, yeah, so that doesn't actually include the input nodes generated H. Alright, let's go ahead and do what the other one suggested, which was to basically reset the project files. Alright, so I want to do this. Whoops. One click is annoying sometimes. I'm going to keep config, I'm going to delete the intermediates, and I'm going to delete the SLN and the saved. Then I want to generate. Oh, that was right there. So, yeah, so binary is going to get saved, and the game SLN file .vs generate, then open the U project when it's finished. Azure will prompt you to rebuild any missing DLLs. Yes. These kind of issues are kind of really annoying. So if we can get this to build correctly, we'll go in and we'll try and test out the if it pulls anything in, then I'll switch. We'll go ahead and switch over to KSP for a while. I'll do maybe an hour or two streaming of that. Alright, this is going to be a little while. Now see, every time I pick up my phone, this thing goes faster. It's like, oh god, he's got his phone. I must go faster. Let me see. Got some emails I want to check real quick. God damn it. What happened? Okay, what happened to this thing? So let's go ahead and just do a build. Let's do a clean first. Well, there shouldn't be anything to clean. It's probably gonna throw the same error out or something. If it does, we'll pack it in and I'll switch over to KSP. So I'll have to just do this off stream. Alright, we're loading up 160,000 files. Okay. It's a hell of a lot, but okay. And again, this is for the entire engine, so that makes sense that it'll be that many. Now, the parsing files. So yeah, the generated H files are produced by the built-in builders with UE4's tools. It's not something that gets built when you're building the project. Which is why if it says that it can't find it or it doesn't exist or whatever, it means that something failed when the tool was creating all the intermediate files. Oh, we have even more files. What do you know? I'm gonna wait for IntelliStupid to get done. So we'll see if me going back over to Adventure Communist makes it go faster. So we need more sewers and more irrigations and blasting sites. So, sewers. Wow, I can buy 163,000 sewers. Oh, it was still cleaning. Or no, it succeeded. It was the intelligence goes over that for some reason. It's very annoying. Alright, let's go ahead and build it and see what happens. I'm betting it's going to be the same freaking thing. That one generated file doesn't exist. I had the same problem on the other one, and I had to just recreate the project, and that's the only way I could figure out how to fix it. So it just kept on happening. Well, I guess it's time to rank up. Rank number 8. That's a fair good amount of science. What the hell is this? Robert scratches Saki. Output of all ore industries. And what the hell? Heckaxe. Yeah, it's the same file. It is the same damn file, that's the problem. No such file or directory. Okay, so that would actually be the intermediate path, right? Rather intermediate folders. I could use this to do that. Intermediate, so project files, no. Build 64. Or not. So we have a generated, database generated. So this is actually for This one's actually for yeah, here we go. Include light. So it is here. I don't think I included this final path last time. I think I did something else. Let me just try this. Now and then we get into all this crap. Right. And that's supposed to be, well, that's true. This is a struct. So why are we using a constructor and a struct? I don't know, I'll have to dig into this and figure out what's going on. Well, is it a struct? Well, it's technically a use struct. Never mind, that's just the, whatchamacallit, flag for that. So it's just a regular struct, yeah. Structs aren't supposed to be, well, I think they can have functions in them, but they can't have a constructor. These don't have any types associated with them, so... So it looks like it would return an F string. Well, this would be a void, actually. So query logic. Expected node. Member function with the same name as its class must be a oh, we need to go to the C++ file for this. Oh, no. That's a declaration. No, I stand corrected. It's not a declaration. Yeah, I'll need to deal with this off stream and figure out what to do with it. Alright, well, so we'll get the module in anyway, so there's that. Too many windows open. Alright, so let me go ahead and I'll stop the stream and then... well, trying to bug fix, but not having much much luck with it. Let's see, what is this one? This yeah, that's the one I want to keep. So Anyway, so yeah, we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and stop the stream, and we will switch over to KSP for a while. Then I'll work on that, and probably yeah, it's an ongoing issue. It's just that there's this, I guess, like a bug or something in Unreal Engine 420 that got introduced that for some files doesn't do the generated files correctly. Okay, then I'll go ahead and stop the stream and change the stream information, and we will get going with KSP. We'll figure out what we're going to do in KSP once we get started, because I have no freaking clue. It's kind of a last sort of minute thing. But I will be right back.